We have the winner of first DDDBCA All Bengal Opens, Kaustav Chatterjee, with us. Congratulations, Kaustav, for winning the tournament. How does it feel to win it?
It feels good.
So you started this tournament as the top seed. Before playing this tournament, did you think that yes, I have a very good chance of winning this tournament?
Frankly, I actually thought I would win it quite easily.
Which one would you describe to be your best game out of the tournament?
I guess it's a tie between my games with Nilash and Orpan Das, who finished second.
Okay. Can you walk us through the games? So Kaustav, you're going to show us a game today. Which round's game you're going to show?
I'll show my game against Nilash. Round 6, I think.
Okay. Please show.
So the game was a Ragozin opening. So I recently played him in a rapid tournament, and he played the Ragozin there also. So I was prepared in the opening, and he wasn't. I don't know how, but okay. So this is like common theory and all. So I'll just not talk much about this. I think the entire line is a bit better for white, and Rastabov recently beat Vidit in this line. So I thought I will play this, and okay, I'll try my best. So basically in this line, white tries to play against this misplaced knight on c6 and this like misplaced pawn on c7, and so basically black tries to play e5 or c5 and free his position, and this bishop is also kind of misplaced, so let's see that. This is development normal, and here he started to misplace position, like he was not familiar with this ideas and all, so he just made normal moves which I don't understand. At least here he could have played e5, which we were analyzing after the game, and here he would have to sack a pawn, but he would get some compensation, I guess, because he has a good bishop and my king is in the center and all, and he has some sacrifices. I checked it, it's not much, it's 0.3 or something, but it's still good. But instead he played rook e7, and after this actually it was quite easy. He just made some normal moves with his pieces, and I also developed. But the thing is that my position is already quite good, and so he basically got nothing from the entire thing. He was trying to play e5, but at this point I had already kind of stopped it, and so he had to change plan suddenly. Here he played knight b8, which is already a decisive mistake, because here I played knight c4, queen d8 and knight b6, and basically the rook is trapped, and if it takes, then I will just take it. So he couldn't take, and so the rook has no place to move, so basically lost an exchange directly. It was like 1 hour into the game, and he had already lost the exchange. After this he played quite a few moves, and okay, this is just a normal easy win, and I just played decent and I had no trouble basically. So this game I was playing Orpan Das, and he finished second in this tournament. He was playing quite well. He had a half-point lead over me, so I had to win this game to challenge from the first place, and he played the semi-Slav. I was expecting this, and we were both prepared for this game, and it was this famous line, Botvinnik variation. It is Kasparov's favorite line with black, and I also like this line a lot, so I tried it for one game. It's not a good opening, but it's a good surprise weapon. This is all common Botvinnik theory, and you can find many Kasparov games here with black or white. And at this point, I was seeing this prepared with this DVD by Peter Heine Nielsen on the semi-Slav, and so until here I was prepared. Here he played this bishop e2 line, which was given in Skanderov's book on the semi-Slav for white against the semi-Slav, and this is not actually this is not good, because I checked it with an engine. It's good for black actually. Here actually knight f6 is a good line, but because it's drawish, so I played something else, queen d6. And here actually he made a mistake. The point for white is to safeguard his king with bishop f3 and make a fianchet and all, and then he should play in the queen side, try to break my structure. But he tried to play bishop h5 and tried to stop me from castling, but that's never possible with the bishop on h5. So I think he misplayed this part of the game. I just got in c5, and here he tried to be, be tactical and all, and played castle and sacrifice knight. I don't think I can take, because there's just too much attack coming. So I played a very good move here, long castling, and basically the knight is hanging, so he cannot take any of this stuff. Like he cannot take d into e6 because of knight into f6, and if he takes bishop into f7, the knight is hanging. And there are some other tactics in this position. It's quite detailed. I will just not go over much here. But he here played knight a4. This is the mistake. The computer says bishop f7 is the best move. Then I take d into e6 and knight into f6, and this thing is very crazy. Like Botvinnik is like, it's too much tactical. And here actually bishop into f6, white sacrifices a queen, and then he gets a very strong passed pawn, and everything is hanging in my position. So it's 0.00, but it's not easy to understand this over a board. So I understand that he couldn't find this, but he had to find this because otherwise his position is just bad. So at this point I'm already kind of better, like practically. So he played knight a4. I just went back, and the thing is, there's a pin here on h2 because my queen and rook is attacking there, and so he can't move his bishop, and so this is basically stuck, and I'm also threatening his pawn, so already kind of in trouble. And after this he made too many mistakes. Like I think first he played f4, I took, he exchanged this bishop, which is a good idea practically, but tactically this is not good because there are some problems with playing like this. Sorry, he played h4 here, and after bishop into d5 he played bishop f3. Now I could play knight e5. He should have played f4, so because it stops knight e4. Now he took, I took, and he moved this queen, but already this position is very difficult for white, sorry, because I have a very good queen structure. My king is actually quite safe, even though there is no pawn cover, but he can attack anyways. So I play knight d3. I have a threat here because this, like I told about this pin, and now I'm sending rook into g5 because if it takes, I will just play queen h2 and win. So here he had to play something like f4, which is very ugly and all, but okay, it's a must. The engine says this move is the best, but after e5 he already gives some 1.5 plus for black, so I guess I would win this position anyways. But he played g3, which is a terrible move. I don't know how he did that. I played queen c6, and the point is that this knight is hanging, and here I'm telling him to play rook h1. She played b3. I guess he just missed it entirely, my point, and I just took rook into g5. The point is that if it takes, I will just checkmate here, and so I win. And the other point is that if he does something else, for example, if he tries to attack my king, which he might try, so if I had no direct attack here, I might be in trouble because my king is quite weak. But here I just have rook into h4. Again, this is another pin here, and he's just forced mate because the queen is threatening h1. There's a pin here, this cannot be taken, and he just basically can't defend. He needs a light square bishop, but he mistakenly exchanged that much earlier. So I just won.
Yeah, too much attack is there. Rook h4, knight f4, everything is working in your favor.
Yeah, he didn't understand the ideas of this Botvinnik. So like at first he should have exchanged the bishops, but then he didn't do it, and later he understood his mistake, but then it was too late.
Who gave you the toughest resistance in the entire tournament?
I think it was my first draw against Dutimai Mukherjee, the very senior most like guy here.
In the Aeroflot Open, the first round got cancelled because of bomb scare. So how was your reaction towards it? Were you happy that the round got cancelled or not?
It was a bit of a mixed feeling at first, but like I had a better position, but I actually got to know something about my opponent, so I felt happy. But after he won the first round anyways, then I felt very good in hindsight.
So what are you planning to play next?
I will take a break to study and all because it's my ICSE year, so, and after that I might play kit or something else.
Thank you, Kaustav, for speaking with Chessbase India. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thanks.